Welcome back, everybody, to ScamWise. We've got a really interesting deep dive for you today.
Yeah, this one's pretty wild.
It really is. And, we've got an expert here today to walk us through it.
Hi, everyone.
So this scam is so convincing.
It really is.
It fooled even some city employees.
Yeah, some people who should know better.
Yeah.
Really highlights just how sophisticated these things are getting.
It does, yeah.
We're talking about fake parking tickets
Ugh.
hitting Charlotte, North Carolina.
Parking tickets. Everybody hates parking tickets.
Right. Nobody likes those.
That's what these scammers are banking on, is that, like, instant dread.
Exactly. That, oh no, not another ticket feeling.
Yeah.
They use it to their advantage.
So walk us through it. How does this scam actually work?
So picture this, you're going about your day and all of a sudden you get a text message.
Okay.
It looks official. Maybe it's even got like the City of Charlotte logo on there. And it says you have an outstanding parking ticket.
Okay. Already I'm stressed.
Right.
Yeah, what happens next?
The text is going to urge you to pay immediately
Of course.
to avoid late fees.
Oh, yeah.
And it gives you a handy link to do so.
I see where this is going.
Right.
That link, that's the trap.
Exactly. That link is going to take you to a fake website
Oh.
designed to steal your personal and financial information.
So how can people in Charlotte know if they've actually gotten a parking ticket?
There are really only two legitimate ways you're going to find out about a parking ticket.
Okay.
First is the old-fashioned way.
The boot?
No.
Okay.
Not the boot. That's a whole other
Yeah.
whole other level
That's
of
a different story.
Yeah, but no, the old-fashioned way, a physical ticket on your windshield.
That bright yellow paper.
Can't miss it.
Nope.
The other way is if that original ticket goes unpaid for 15 days.
Oh, okay.
Then you'll get a letter in the mail from the
Oh.
USPS.
Okay, so not an email,
No.
not a text.
Not a text, a physical letter.
So to be clear, the city of Charlotte never sends text messages with payment links for parking tickets. If you get a text, it's a scam.
100%.
Wow. It's really scary how believable these scams can be.
Yeah.
I mean, even city employees fell for it.
It just goes to show that anyone can fall victim to these scams.
Yeah.
These criminals are constantly evolving their tactics.
They are good.
They are really good at what they do.
So what can our listeners do to protect themselves?
Be vigilant.
Go ahead.
Don't automatically trust any communication that demands immediate action,
Especially when it involves money.
especially when it involves your hard-earned cash.
Right. Take a moment to pause
Yeah, breathe.
and assess the situation.
Exactly, and always verify information through official channels.
So if you get a text about a parking ticket, don't click any links.
Yeah.
Go to the City of Charlotte's website.
Right, or contact them through a trusted phone number.
And speaking of the city's website, they have a really convenient way to check for parking tickets, don't they?
They do. It's called their Park It website.
Okay.
And it's a great resource. You can enter your license plate number
And then what?
and see any citations.
Oh, what?
Even photos they took of your car if there are any.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you do have a legitimate ticket,
Okay.
you can pay it securely right there on the site.
That's good to know. So let's say someone does get one of these suspicious texts. What should they do?
First and foremost, do not click any links.
Oh.
I can't stress that enough.
Don't click the links.
And don't reply to the text either.
Got it.
That just lets the scammers know they've reached a live target.
Okay.
So don't do that.
What about reporting? Is that important?
It is absolutely. Reporting these scams helps authorities track them
Okay.
and potentially shut down their operations.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, you can report it to the city's 311 service
Okay.
or file a complaint with the appropriate consumer protection agency.
So reporting it not only protects yourself, but also could potentially help others.
Right. It's a community effort to fight back against these criminals.
It is.
The more people report these scams, the more effective law enforcement can be in stopping them.
This whole situation with the fake parking tickets in Charlotte makes me wonder, are we seeing other types of government services being exploited?
Unfortunately, yes, we are seeing that trend pop up more and more.
Like what?
Fake tax notices from the IRS, fraudulent unemployment claims, bogus calls about Social Security benefits. You name it.
Oh, wow.
Scammers are trying to use it to their advantage.
It's pretty scary how they're using people's trust in these institutions to trick them.
It is, but knowledge is power.
That's right.
The more aware we are of these tactics, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves and our loved ones.
You know what? We've got to stay informed and stay vigilant.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back,
Yeah.
we'll delve deeper into this trend of government service scams and share even more tips on how to stay safe. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back. And, it's not just about recognizing the scams themselves.
Right.
It's also about understanding the psychology
Yeah.
behind why they work.
That's a good point. So what is going on in our minds when we encounter these scams?
Well, scammers are masters of manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to push our buttons.
Yeah.
They exploit our emotions.
It's
Like with this parking ticket scam, it plays on that fear of authority,
yeah.
that urgency to avoid penalties.
It's like that feeling when you see those flashing lights in your rearview mirror.
Exactly.
Your heart starts racing. You're like, oh no, what did I do?
It's that instinctive reaction,
Yeah.
that amygdala hijack.
The what?
The amygdala hijack, it's sometimes called that
Interesting.
can bypass our rational thinking.
Oh, so we're not even thinking logically at that point.
Not really, no. We're reacting emotionally.
Okay.
And scammers know how to take advantage of that.
So they create that sense of urgency.
Yes.
That fear.
Pressure us to act quickly without thinking things through.
That's why they want that payment right away.
Exactly.
Don't even think about it. Just click that link.
Don't even just click.
Right.
So what can we do to protect ourselves from these psychological traps?
Well, I think a good first step is being aware of the tactics.
Absolutely. Just knowing that scammers use these psychological levers can help us be more cautious, more skeptical.
It's like a mental shield,
Exactly.
knowing the tricks so we don't fall for them.
Exactly. And another important strategy is to cultivate what's called mental resilience.
Mental resilience. Okay, what does that mean?
It means building up our ability to stay calm under pressure. Think clearly,
Okay.
recognizing those emotional triggers and having strategies to manage them.
So instead of letting that fear take over
Yes.
or the anxiety,
Sit back.
breathe.
Breathe.
think rationally.
You got it.
Okay.
It's like training our minds to resist those impulsive urges,
Mm.
make more thoughtful decisions.
Like building up our mental immune system to these scams.
I like that analogy because just like our physical immune system protects us from disease, our mental resilience can help us ward off these psychological attacks.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how much technology has changed the way we live.
It really is.
I mean, it's brought so many benefits.
So many.
But it's also created these new opportunities for scammers.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
We have access to information and services like never before.
That's true.
But it's also made us more vulnerable.
I mean, just a few years ago, this fake parking ticket text scam wouldn't have even been possible.
We were all still getting those paper tickets.
Stuck on our windshields, exactly.
Exactly. Technology has changed the game.
For both sides.
For both sides. That's why it's so important to stay informed.
Mm.
Stay up to date on the latest scams and how they work.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Especially in the digital world.
Especially in the digital world. You know, speaking of staying informed, I think it's time we talk more about this trend of government service scams.
Yes, let's do that.
What are some other examples that our listeners should be aware of?
Well, one that we see a lot of is fake tax notices,
Uh-oh.
supposedly from the IRS.
No way.
These scams often involve threatening phone calls, emails,
Oh, yeah.
claiming that you owe back taxes and must pay immediately.
Oh, I bet people panic.
Oh, absolutely. Or face serious consequences.
Yeah.
And another common tactic is fraudulent unemployment claims.
Okay.
Scammers might steal your identity and file for unemployment benefits in your name,
Oh, wow.
leaving you to deal with the mess,
Ugh, what a headache.
and potentially delaying your legitimate benefits.
So what about Social Security? Are there scams targeting those benefits too?
Unfortunately, yes, we're seeing an increase in scams involving fake phone calls or emails
Mhm.
from people claiming to be from the Social Security Administration.
Oh, gosh.
They might try to scare you by saying your benefits are in jeoperdy,
Oh, no.
or offer to help you increase your payments for a fee.
It's amazing how they come up with this stuff.
It really is. They're very creative.
It seems like no government service is safe.
You're right. They're constantly adapting and finding new ways to exploit people's trust.
In these institutions.
Yes.
So what's the key takeaway here for our listeners? How can they protect themselves from these government service scams?
Well, the first rule of thumb is to remember that government agencies rarely, if ever, initiate contact through phone calls, text messages, or emails.
So if you get a call out of the blue,
Big red flag.
claiming to be from the IRS
Huge red flag.
or Social Security.
Don't trust it.
Okay.
And if you're ever unsure about the legitimacy of a communication, don't hesitate to contact the agency directly
Okay.
using their official website or phone number.
So don't rely on the contact info that they give you.
Exactly. Always independently verify.
And remember,
And remember,
if it sounds too good to be true,
or too scary to be true.
it probably is.
Yeah, probably is.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the specifics of that parking ticket scam to this broader trend of government service scams and the psychological tactics that these scammers use. What's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
If I had to choose just one,
Hmm.
it would be stay informed and be vigilant.
Stay informed and be vigilant.
The more you know about scams and how they work, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power. And in the world of scams, it can be the difference between being a victim and staying safe.
And remember, if something seems too good to be true or too scary to be true,
Mm-hmm.
it probably is. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to ask questions or seek help if you need it.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us today and sharing your expertise with our listeners.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to all of our listeners out there, we hope you found this deep dive into the world of scams informative and empowering.
We hope so.
Remember, stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe.
And if you have any questions or want to share your own experiences with scams, please leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We love hearing from you.
And don't forget to subscribe to ScamWise for more tips and insights on protecting yourself from scams.
That's right. We're here to help you stay ahead of the scammers and navigate the digital world safely.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And until next time, stay scam savvy.
Stay scam savvy.
So what should someone do if they realize they've fallen victim to a scam?
Well, first of all, it's important to remember that it's not your fault.
Okay.
These scammers are professionals, and they're very good at what they do.
Right.
Anyone can fall victim to a scam, so there's no shame in admitting it happened.
That's a really important point. It's easy to feel embarrassed or foolish,
Right.
but the most important thing is to take action.
Exactly.
Try to mitigate the damage.
So the first step is to contact your bank or credit card company
Okay.
immediately
Right.
and report the fraudulent activity.
So they can try to stop any unauthorized transactions
Yeah.
and potentially reverse any charges.
Right. And you should also change your passwords for any online accounts that might have been compromised,
Okay.
especially your banking and financial accounts.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's important to report the scam to the authorities as well.
Absolutely. Reporting the scam helps build a case against these criminals
Okay.
and can prevent others from falling victim. You can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission online or by phone.
The FTC, and I think they have a website specifically for reporting identity theft.
Yes, they do. It's called identitytheft.gov.
Okay.
And it provides resources and guidance for victims of identity theft.
That's a valuable resource.
Yeah.
So to recap, if you think you've been scammed,
Mm-hmm.
contact your bank,
Yes.
change your passwords,
Yep.
and report the scam to the FTC.
Oh,
Anything else?
well, one thing I want to emphasize is documentation.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Keep records of all communication with the scammer,
Okay.
including emails, text messages, phone calls.
So screenshots, call logs, anything like that?
Exactly. And if you made any payments,
Okay.
keep those records as well.
Got it.
This documentation will be helpful when you're working with your bank, your credit card company, and law enforcement.
Great advice, it sounds like. Taking these steps, even after falling victim to a scam, can be empowering.
It is.
Yeah, it's a way to take back control
Exactly.
and fight back against these criminals.
I completely agree. Reporting these scams, even if you don't recover your losses, can help prevent others from being victimized.
Right.
It's a way to contribute to a safer online environment for everyone.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
What's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember from this whole conversation?
If I had to choose just one, it would be stay informed and be vigilant.
Stay informed and be vigilant.
The more you know about scams and how they work, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
It is.
And in the world of scams, it can be the difference between being a victim and staying safe.
And remember, if something seems too good to be true or too scary to be true,
Mm-hmm.
it probably is. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to ask questions or seek help if you need it.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us today and sharing your expertise with our listeners.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to all of our listeners out there, we hope you found this deep dive into the world of scams informative and empowering. Remember, stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe. And if you have any questions or want to share your own experiences with scams, please leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We love hearing from you.
And don't forget to subscribe to ScamWise for more tips and insights on protecting yourself from scams.
That's right. We're here to help you stay ahead of the scammers and navigate the digital world safely. Thanks for listening, everyone, and until next time, stay scam savvy.
Stay scam savvy.